Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today I have an amazing lens. Truly amazing. As always, first I'm going to tell you the story about why I bought it and who convinced me. I think you know. And then if you skip over that, you'll get to the unboxing. And then if you'll skip over that, you'll get to where I start using this lens with my handy dandy ZV-E1. And then after that, I'll give you my final thoughts and review and all that kind of stuff. Well, let's get going then. Why did I buy this? Yeah, you know why. I saw it on Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis. Bennett! Now, I saw it on Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis 9 months ago because that's when it was announced. He had an early version and it was supposed to come out shortly thereafter. Well, I don't know when it came out. I put it on order right away. And I got charged $1 every week by Autorama, keeping the charge alive because they don't charge until they ship. So 3 months ago, there was a flurry of orders filled. Mine was no longer among them, but I had canceled mine. But then I waited and waited, and it finally came back in stock a couple of weeks ago, and I ordered one. Why did I buy this? Mark Bennett made me. But what did Mark Bennett show me that made me want to buy this lens? This is one of the widest full-frame lenses you can buy. It's a 10mm lens. That is very wide. You're looking at me on a 16mm that's on an APS-C camera, which means that's actually like a 24mm. This is 10. You'll see in a minute. So it's very, very wide. But 0D, that's part of the name. 0D for zero distortion. All the lines stay straight way out from the lens, whereas most wide-angle lenses like this, things start curving around the outside because they're basically fisheye lenses. This one is apparently also a kind of a fisheye lens, but they do some magic inside in the optics to straighten out all the lines so there's no distortion. I mean, things get really weird and long at the edges. You'll see in a minute. So I bought it because, as you know, if you've been keeping up with this part of the channel, I've been looking for the perfect vlogging lens. Yes, I know I still haven't done many vlogs, but I'm getting ready to retire. It's 6 more months and I'll be retired, and then I'll have the time to go out and do blogging and go wandering around the country and, well, as much as I can at my age. But so I'm still looking for the perfect vlogging lens. What I've been using is the Sony's 10-16, but it has a lot of caveats. For one thing, it's f4. This is f2.8, so it takes in a lot more light. Also, this is an APS-C lens. Now, I have it on a full-frame camera, so that means at fully open at 10mm, there's going to be some vignetting around the edges, which you can get away from on this guy because he has the active stabilization that crops in, and it crops in enough to cut out most of that vignetting. And if you run it up to about 12mm, then there's virtually no vignetting, even in regular stabilization. So it's been working for me. But again, the f4 doesn't let in a lot of light. It's great for outside, but what if you're inside? So it has some drawbacks, but this one, allegedly, eliminates most of those drawbacks. You've got the zero distortion, 10mm, f2.8, 130.4 degrees of view. The lens is 15 elements in 5 groups. Oh, and the minimum focus distance is 12 centimeters. Now, you think, well, that doesn't seem that close, except it's 12 centimeters from the sensor. So basically, you can focus on things right here, which I will demonstrate shortly. Oh, and one more thing, autofocus. This is an autofocus. See, it's there, printed there in red. The Sony is an autofocus, but all Sony lenses are autofocus. Very unusual for a lens this wide and zero distortion and all these other features to also be autofocus. Now, it's only autofocus on the Sony and one other system. It works on multiple systems, but you only get the autofocus on 2. But Sony's one of them, and I'm a Sony guy, so yay. Let's see what's in the box. People are going crazy with these magnetic open boxes. I think they're cool, but oh, nice pad to keep the lens safe in here. It has a nice little indentation there that it sits in, so shipping shouldn't be a problem. And it comes with a few little booklets, not like Sony. Well, it's mainly in Chinese. I think that's the quality control pass, and then a little manual. That's mainly in Chinese. Wait, is there some English at the back? Yes. Who reads the documentation? So if we take it out of the little bag, here it is. Now it's autofocus or manual focus. There's a switch here on the side. I have it on autofocus because that's how I'll be using it. It's a bluish tint. If you look at it next to the Sony, I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but it's a bluish tint, and there's a light blue ring up there, this is the focus ring if you're using manual focus. Not rubberized, but it does have indentations, so it's fairly easy to grab and turn, although it's metal, so I imagine it'll be cold if you're outside. There's a gasket here, so it's somewhat weather sealed. And there's the actual lens, FE, that's Sony, 10mm, f2.8, 77mm filter ring. Oh, and you can use filters. A lot of ultra-wide lenses, you cannot put filters on the front, ND filters or any of that kind of stuff. But this has a 77mm filter ring, and you can use a filter on it. No step-up rings, because then it starts showing up in the camera, because this lens is actually, I mean, the width of field is great. And you have to put this little lens hood on properly, because if you have it any way other than the way it is right now, with the red dot lined up with the top, you'll see it in the corners. So, because this part sticks out. It's not really a lens hood. If you notice, it only sticks out a, half an inch or so. But it's really to protect because the lens, if you can see, protrudes slightly. So if you were to drop it face down, it's possible you could damage the lens. But if with this on, it's metal. The whole thing is metal. It would protect it in a fall. It's very well made. It's very solid. I think it's 460 grams, so a little bit hefty. That's the lens. Now, let's see how it performs. Well, first, let me show you. So this is the Sony at 10mm, and you can see how far away it is from my face on this camera, but you can see the vignetting. And if I turn it up to 12, now this is with stabilization off. See, it's still showing at 12. And now this is with the Dynamic Active Stabilization on. And you can see most of it, this still at 10mm, and you can see most of the vignetting has gone away on the edges. And also look how stable that shot is. I mean, you can see me, look over here, if you look from over there, you can see me waving it around. Let's switch lenses. This is the Laowa 10mm stabilization off. No crop whatsoever. And you can see, and look, I can hold my arm out and look at that. Look how much it takes in. But for vlogging, see, I've got my arm up against my side here, and I can brace, and so I can get a thing. But wait, there's more. Now this is with active stabilization, and you can see it's cropped in a bit, but I still have an incredible depth of field. But see, I mean, look at this. But see, look how my fingers get all long over there at the edge. But look at the lines up here. The lines all stay straight. Now this is the Dynamic Active Stabilization. It's the most stabilization. It's kind of what the ZV-E1 is famous for. For vlogging, you don't have to use a gimbal. I mean, if you want it really smooth, you need a gimbal, but for most people, this will be fine for walking around. This is a heck of a vlogging lens. Beats the heck out of this one, which is the best I have found so far. I will link that video down below. By the way, this is $800, and I don't think this one is quite that much, so, but wait, there's more. Let's turn it around. Okay, let's get the box over here. Basically almost touch things and they'll still be in focus. So this is a heck of a lens. I'm very impressed. So Mark Bennett was right for once. He's right most of the time, but he was definitely right about this lens. This is an amazing lens. I think it's worth the $800. Yeah, I know, you'll believe it when I start vlogging. It's gonna happen. I just have to retire first, so let's wait until June. So next June, I will start my adventure. I guess I don't really have to do a review because I've been kind of reviewing as I'm going along, saying this is just amazing. I mean, What a fantastic piece of kit, as the Brits would say. I'm impressed. I'm not just impressed, I'm very impressed. By the way, you should go watch Mark Bennett's video, Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis. I will link that down below. I will link someone else's video up here in the corner. He's the one that turned me on to this, and he raves about it, which is one of the reasons I bought it. Bennett! So that is the Laowa FF 10mm f2.8 C&D Dreamer lens, autofocus, full frame, zero distortion, wide angle lens, available for Sony, Nikon, Canon, and L mount. I think Canon is the other one that autofocuses, but don't hold me to that. It's 420 grams, 82 millimeters by 70.8 millimeters. This is my go-to lens now for when I start vlogging down the road. I will link below all of my videos in search of the perfect vlogging lens, and there have been a lot, and I have gone through a lot of lenses. But this is the one I was waiting for. I couldn't find it before because it didn't exist, but now it does. Now when I go back and look at all the other lenses I bought in my search for the perfect vlogging lens, I can look at them and like Zathras, say, not the one, not the one, this is the one. Thank you, Mark Bennett, for introducing me to this lens. I never would have found this on my own. A little PSA for Mark Bennett. Go watch his channel. Subscribe to his channel if you're into this kind of stuff. And if you're watching this video, you're into this kind of stuff. Or you just like me. And thank you for watching too. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye. I got to go work on whatever video I'm coming up with to use next time when I'll try using this lens. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.